Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do a quick sketch of a bird beak, and we are talking about the beak of a hoopoe. So if your pencils all set, we're going to draw a hoopoe, but we're going to show it from the front, like more or less the front. We had done a previous video showing the hoopoe's profile from the side with that nice beak like that, and we'll show that now from a more front view, and that is our challenge today. So let's put down some framework. We will, I guess we need the crest here again, so we will think of putting up the crested form like here, and we'll have the head around here. So and the beak itself will be like that. So if you have just these three shapes, I mean, I know it doesn't look like much right now, but we will see in a second how this all blends quite nicely. So the eyes of the bird, so let's do that actually. Okay, so nice oval, and let's have a line going here, like so that we can put in one eye here, another eye somewhere here. And we can start on putting down the solid framework now. And as we said, the hoopoe's beaks are a unique element, even in terms of conventional, like scientific expression. And I mean, if you look at the beak, like they're streamlined to survive, and you should refer to our other video. We do not intend to be like repetitive, but we'll just mention a few more credentials as we are going along. So from this angle, the beak appears sort of like that. And the eyes, essentially done like that, would be better. So a little bit of pinch there, and then the oval. And then of course we have that characteristic skin around the eyes. The eye is again black with maybe a hint of maybe a little white tint in there to show the reflection of the light, perhaps. And then if we can just do that to start off, it will be accurate. Since we're using this medium, we're using a pen. So some very, very gently put in tones will work, like that. To show the plumes. Because the hoopoe, again, it has this little tuft of soft feathers right under its beak, and we can show that in like different manners, in different ways, sorry. But one conventional way is this. It's just amazing how the slightest tilt of the camera or of a view can give a completely different view of this bird. Let's see. So we're putting in some details there, and you can Google images. You will find, hopefully, like you'll find like several out there that you could work with. So now we should, again, I'm putting, see these little, let's say like, sort of like eyebrows here. They're not really eyebrows, but they give that impression from that angle, because this bird has a very, very streamlined head, and it becomes a little more challenging with a pen to bring out all its features. So we'll go back into the feathers and outlining like in a bit, but right now we'll put up that impressive crest seen from this angle. Now from the side, it's pretty much like that. And it's like feathers like sticking out, like in sort of like an axe shape. But when we are looking at it from the front, we have to like go back, like it's sort of like a mohawk, but it's not a mohawk. It's like a very, very thick concentration of these feathers, and we have to show them at a certain angle. Now it's also like we can imagine looking at that picture and going, then just keep like going along, but that is not the way it's going to work easily, because it's going to be very, very time consuming. There are like taller feathers in there, which are these, and we're just like, nailing them here, and we can add like a little detail, like one going this way, one maybe going that way, coming back in. Each has to have a black tip for sure, except the smaller ones here on the side. They don't necessarily need a tip. So although this is about a hoopoe's beak, we are also making it about the whole like balanced element and how to put the other things together to try and achieve that look from this different angle. So while the beak is important, hoopoe's feathers and crest equally important. And there we have, so they all like flow again, as we mentioned in the other video, they flow into the plumes, into the head. And of course we can have every feather have its individual details, and at the end of the day, if we want a quick sketch, then a quick crosshatch exercise in just some key areas should help determine a path whereby you're able to achieve the look with far less effort, because feathers, again, each feather is like a, how could I put it? Each has a character of its own, really. Like they're just like hair, like flowing in a certain direction, but then they have their random bits like that, depending on how fine or how thick the feather buildup is in a particular bird. Now the hoopoe, again, like there are certain areas like the crest and this little tuft below its beak that are more like heftier in look, and the other like part of its, like the remainder of its body, not as concentrated in terms of thickness, but from a distance, when the light like reflects off this bird, you could see that there's that like more prominent like feather set, helping it achieve its like distinct look, making it look beautiful. But again, that is an exercise that is left to a more time-consuming schedule. And yes, you should definitely try it out, because again, whereas like there's like different birds that we can explore with their own particular set of unique features, this bird's look, this bird's streamlined characteristics are an exercise unto themselves. So it would be definitely worth trying fleshing this bird out in more detail. So we're just putting in conventional pen crosshatch because it looks good a certain way when it's put in. So we are like, doing like streamlines, like for flowing that way, flowing this way, and then like blending back in, and here like more like smaller strokes, but then trying to like round it up like that way, and trying to maintain again that fine flow of feathers going in those directions. And we're determining that through our crosshatch as we're going. Not to like make it like sound more complicated, but when we're doing the same exercise with a pencil, we might have a slightly different effect in terms of the tones that we're putting in. So a definite tone being put in there. Just highlight that end of the beak like that, and another tone here. Okay, I think that still stands out. And then, of course, we have those very characteristic tips of those crested feathers. So amazing bird, amazing habitat, amazing survival skills, like pre-programmed survival skills that are also somehow instantaneously known to the young in their structure, in their genetic makeup, I would say. But truly like wondrous on all accounts. And yes, for sure, also a pleasure to put down on paper, because it just like looks nice. Of course, everybody has their own opinion about what kind of bird looks better than another one, but here we have it, one sketch of the Hoopoe's beak. So to do a comparison, you see here from the side, appears like that, and from the front, probably, depending on how much of a tilt there is to the angle, it'll probably end up looking something like that. So please do try it out. We put out content pretty much every day, so please subscribe, keep in touch, and have yourself a wonderful day.